Alright, hi everybody. Welcome back. We're going to do some beekeeping today. Pretty standard stuff. We've got 3 boxes going though, so really today's just a check-in. Not much else other than to look at what's going on. So, here we go. Going with shorts today. See if I live to regret it. It's really hot though. It's like 86 degrees. So if you remember, we just added this one last time. So we'll check on it, but I don't expect there to be much going on. In fact, I can kind of see already that really only these two have anything going on. So just kind of peeking in as I go here, but I don't think I'm going to take out every single frame. I think I'm just going to get to those. Because to be honest, if I don't have to wear this suit for very long today, that would be nice. I see why down in the southern states you see people only wearing their veil. Oh, you know what? We didn't even smoke these guys. Not even a bit. I did start the smoker right by them, so. So it has been kind of smoking them out just as the smoker has been running. Now that I've thoroughly pissed them off, and they may come after me in the shorts. Take out the first frame. I mean, this is crazy. So this is number 5, but actually we took 5 from below and brought it up. But you can see they've been working it. It's got tons of cap brood. Regina's still laying like a boss. I mean, she has filled this one up. Utterly filled it. But again, that was one that we had brought up from box 2. So we shouldn't be super surprised that it's so full. But that was 5. Let's look at 4. 4 is a freshie. So they're working it. Mostly getting nectar put in and comb drawn out. So pretty light still. Not much going on it. The backside's got nothing. But yeah, very little brood actually laid in here, or eggs. I can see 4 eggs in this one total. So, all right. So I'll take a peek at 6. So I thought I'd share a little bit of bee history with you guys that I learned from a different YouTube. Every honeybee in the United States is technically invasive. They were brought over by Europeans. So the honeybee, or the bumblebee, is native to America, but the honeybee is not. So that's an interesting fact for you. it's really cool. I'm going to show you a zoom in. So half of this frame must have been brood that has now hatched. This is frame 6 from box 3. Remember, we brought this up from below, but look at this. These are all cleaned out, ready to be used again. Right, it looks so professional. It looks so professional. That's them just freaking working it. And there's already eggs in it. Insane. Just insane. Can't remember how this one was oriented. I think pretty much always my right hand is on the far one. So we'll look at one more frame in here. So that was 4, 5, and 6 here. And we'll look at 7 because I see they've started to work 7, but not much. Everything is way sticky though. They're definitely grabbing that propolis, bringing that stuff in. This is another fresh one. Nothing going on the back side. But comb's drawn out. Starting to get some nectar in here. I see a little bit of brood. Well, not brood, I guess. Eggs. Alright, so that's box 3. I doubt I really need to crack it, but a little bit. So remember we put some of that wax that we scraped off. We put some of that on top here. And our mentor told us they'll clean it. Well, let me tell you guys, they cleaned it. There is no debris in it anymore. Just getting some smoke on my legs just to keep them from hanging out there. So, let me grab the hive to it. So this is that stuff that had drones all in it. Okay, the drones are all removed. Eat it all up. And then what I do is I save this, because this is all wax. Save this, you melt this down, and then when you put in brand new frames, it's good to paint this onto the new frames in like little, thin layers. They will draw out comb on it faster. So yeah, back to the history. So, European beekeepers brought the honeybee with them. And back then, they really didn't know how to keep a hive. So really all it was there would be a tree. Nothing doing on this one. I'm going to skip forward a little bit. There would be a tree that would be hollowed out, or they would find a hollow tree, and then the beekeeper would just, care for the tree, and once a year go up, climb up into the tree, smoke the bees out, and collect the honey. Not a very scientific way of doing it, right? But they didn't know how. And there were some attempts at creating like beehives, like what we have today, but they weren't much of anything. You pretty much just gave the bees a home, and the bees went to it. But then in like 1870 or something, this guy named Langsrot, can't remember how to pronounce his name, he invented this kind of hive, right? And it was like mind-blowing that this would be invented. They working it. They working it. Some fresh comb, getting some fresh stuff laid in it. Some capped brood over here. It's hard for me to see what you guys can see. This is my mesh. Makes it kind of tricky. But yeah, so he invented this kind of hive, and I like blew everybody's mind. And since then, there's been a few other types of hives developed. But this one's still the tried and true. There was a period, like just after he invented this, where someone was trying to come up with like a more cost-effective way, because these can be really expensive. Essentially, the frames take a lot of work to make, and so that's where it gets expensive. Remember, everything in the bee hive has to be accommodating to the bee space. So when they make the frames, it takes a lot of work to get the frames to be durable, strong, and accommodate that bee space. This is frame number 5 in box 2. Lots of capped brood, it looks like. You know? I don't really see like any specifically dedicated honey frames. And from what I'm hearing from my mentor, I'm probably not, like I'm gonna need to get a queen excluder. Some people don't use a queen excluder though, so I'm wondering how you get honey frames if you don't use a queen excluder. Essentially what the queen excluder does is you lay it like in between this box and that box, and then the queen can't come up, right? So she can't lay in it. So they'll only put honey and nectar. Nectar, honey, and pollen in it. Not as many drone cells anymore. Probably for good reason. So this is frame 6. Haven't spotted her yet, but I'm not really looking for her. Just checking on things. You know, nothing crazy today. Everything's pretty much chugging along the way I think I should expect it to. So yeah, other hives have been developed. There's a new kind of hive called like a top loading hive that basically you don't have boxes, you have just like one long row, and you just put in like these top loaders. They're like trapezoidal shaped, and it's really long. And I guess that one's pretty, I mean, even one of the guys in our bee society, he tried it out. That one's pretty popular. I think they use it in Africa a lot. I don't know why, but it was developed in Africa. I think it was because it could be made a little bit cheaper. You don't have to make all the boxes. This one's gonna have a bunch of drones on it, it looks like. But this one's still pretty fresh. Yeah, so, but now that this Langstrad hive has been developed and been invented, now it is illegal to keep bees in a kind of hive in which you cannot do what we're doing right now, remove frames and inspect every single frame. So, I mean, obviously if bees land in your trees and do their thing, like you're not beekeeping, you know, that's just a wild hive. It's found its way onto your property. And the neighbors have that every year. This is the last one we'll check in here. Just a little bit of comb getting drawn on here. And some storage of nectar. This is frame 8 of box 2. Yeah, so not much. There's bees everywhere though, you know, like there's bees on pretty much every frame. But yeah, so that's a little history of the honeybee hive. So like that classic hive look that you see, that looks like you know, something out of a Precious Moments. It's like you know, just that classic look of a hive, of a beekeeping hive. That was a tried way for a while. I think they call that a woven hive, and it's basically, yeah, like a woven spot for bees to go in and be in, but it would be technically illegal to use that kind of hive now because you cannot remove the frames and inspect them. Essentially what you do with that kind of hive is when you're all done, when you're ready for the end of the season, you destroy it and you get in and you get all your honey and you get all your stuff. So probably the reason why you have to be able to inspect is so that you can monitor for swarming and all that stuff. But I don't know. There's a great lecture, it's like a 16-part lecture by the University of Arkansas on YouTube, and basically the first episode, which is like an hour long, is all about the history of beekeeping in the United States, and then the second episode is all about your hive. It's funny because in that episode he talks about that hive that you see on the internet that is the new kind of hive where you basically can draw honey out of it any day by turning that little knob, and yeah, he kind of rips that one apart, which is funny. You know, it's not that it's much different than anything else, but it has these mechanisms that when you turn the dial, it removes the cap from the honey, and then the honey pours through down these little channels. But the hive is like thousands of dollars, and so for the same price of one of those hives, you can have, you know, like 10 of these Langsrod hives. So it's kind of windy today. I hope you guys can actually hear me. So yeah, so that's a little history of this whole thing. Okay, now this one, right, like I could almost expect to see them on every single frame in here, but I don't. I think these three are pretty much untouched, but we'll see. So yeah, even this one, like they're only really, there's bees on the wall in there, and then there's bees all over this, but only really on one side. They're not really doing anything on this side. But you'll see, look at this. Packed, this one's packed full of pollen. Packed full of pollen, getting some honey on it. She's laid a couple of drones in here, it looks like. Not much, though. Yeah. Bees galore though. It's pretty cool. They are definitely landing on me. I think that one's thinking about stinging me. Smoke my legs a little bit more. So met a fellow beekeeper out drinking the other night, which was fun. This old guy Roger. And we got to talking. His wife has a cute gnome tattoo where the gnome's hat is an old style woven beehive. She's like, oh, that's my husband. He's my beekeeping gnome. pretty cute. I want to get a bee tattoo eventually. Yep, they're capping things up over here. Got a whole nother frame of brood here. Some nectar on this side. A lot of, or not nectar, pollen. A lot of pollen in the frames today. See, that side's pretty much all capped up. Yeah, he's been doing it for 3 years, he said, and he has not gotten a hive to last the winter, which I told him, I said, well, you need to start coming to the bee club meetings, because he's never been to them. He's like, you'll learn from everybody how to make sure that yours lasts the full season. Now, that's my #1 goal, is to just have bees next year. But he said the same thing my mentor keeps saying, like, you need a second hive so that you can compare. But I'll tell you what, I don't need to compare this hive to any other hive. This hive's doing great. This hive's doing like more than great. We've got so many bees. It is insane. They are really getting a lot of pollen. I wonder if that's just a part of the season. But you can see in this one, if you pause and zoom in or something, you can see lots of pollen cells in this one. So yeah, I know that, like, we call it the honey flow. There's different parts of the year where, like, you know, obviously different types of fauna or flora are producing nectar. So I don't know, maybe like right now there's not a lot of nectar, there's mostly pollen. So sticky. And like things like my tools and my gloves and everything's getting sticky. I hate sticky. It's like my least favorite texture. I mean, who likes sticky? You know, like, who touches something sticky and goes, yum? You know, nobody. Nobody. This one, they're putting nectar in these. These are those old frames. These are the ones I scraped off last week. So much easier to get in and out now that they're scraped off. Yeah, putting a lot of pollen in that one. There are bees landing on my shins, and it's making me a little nervous. They don't seem to be too freaked out, but still. Much more of the smoker, but it's never good to not smoke it. So, alright, let's keep chugging along. You don't have much more to do. I'm getting hungry. It's like 11:30, 11:45 today. Getting out here a little earlier than what I want. Ooh. Definitely got one there. Okay, first sting ever. Ooh, another one. Alright. Oh man. Okay. You can't see what I'm doing because I'm stepping away, but I'm scraping the stingers out of my leg. Whew. Okay, got a few that time. Ooh. All right, we all knew it would happen. It was bound to happen sometime. I think I got 2 for sure. Maybe a few more. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, part of me wonders if I call it here. They were not happy with me when I took that frame out. Not too bad though, they didn't hurt too bad. We'll try it once more. Now I'm a little more nervous than. So, I can give you another little lesson. When you get stung, what's making it swell up and like hurt and everything is the stinger. The stinger has a venom in it. Okay, so what you want to do, what you didn't see me do because I jumped back away from the hive and then did it. But what you want to do is you want to take your hive tool, and it's got like some sharp edges to it and everything. You're going to take your hive tool and you're going to scrape out the stinger. Straight scraping. Okay? Alright, we're going to see how we do this. Ooh, they are buzzing along. Okay. I think I'm good. I think we'll just put it all back together. I don't think there's really anything I'm like specifically looking for, so why piss them off more than I have to? Why go deeper into it than I have to? So we're just going to put everything back. But yeah, you want to scrape the stinger out. Scraping out the stinger should alleviate most of the like negative side effects of getting stung. So like I can tell on my leg that I was stung, and honestly I like probably used my tool a little too harshly on myself, but I can tell that it's stung, but it's not the same way that like when you get stung by a bumblebee, it like, oh, it's sore. I mean, and bumblebee stingers are massive, so that already will get you. Okay, box 2, let's go back. So that was exciting, right? I mean, I knew it was bound to happen one day. Even the best beekeepers get stung by their bees. So, today was my day, you know? Today was my day. But again, I don't see the real point in going into those bottom ones. This was mostly just because it's been a week and I should do it. And I just realized we did not put the sponges back. I always forget to do that. So we're gonna do it again real quick. Remember that this is our top. So yeah, if you ever are wondering, you know, like what can I do about a bee sting? Even if you're not a beekeeper, that's what you want to do. You want to take a sharp object and you just want to scrape away where the stinger got you. Take off your first, honestly, take off the first layer of skin, because the stinger is not very long, especially on these kinds of bees. So if you can take off just a little bit of skin, you're going to get that stinger and you're probably going to be okay. I mean, If you're allergic to bees, I can't help you. Okay? I can't help you. But if you ain't like me, and you're just curious about bees, which you should be, everybody should be, then that's a way you can prevent the worst parts of the bee sting. The swelling up. Like, I think this one's gonna swell up. Yeah, right there. Because I don't think I got that one. I think I got 3 on my inner thigh. And I think I was able to scrape out 2 of them. But these girls, their sting ain't too bad. Like, honestly, if I had gotten worse, like a ton of them attacking me at once, more than what just happened, it would have been bad. But the fact that it was pretty low key, got a few, I'm not too worried about it. All right, well, that's another day of beekeeping here at Sentinel Pines. Fun day, getting stung for the first time. Pretty historical moment. So anyways, thanks for watching.